Hi everybody, good evening. My name is Venkat. Today, 29th January 2023, I am joined by a very special guest, Surjo Chowdhury. Surjo is a mountaineer from Kolkata. He recently attempted the 8th highest mountain of the world, Manaslu. During his climb, he witnessed a massive avalanche and also slightly escaped from it while they were camping at Camp 3 on this mountain. We will be discussing about his mountaineering journey, challenges he faced in his journey, and all his experiences. We will also be talking about how to push through adversity and come out stronger. So sit back and relax while we hear Sujoy's incredible story. Let's get started. Good evening, Sujoy. Let's begin with the story of Manaslu.
Good evening, Venkat sir. Thank you so much for having me. I am from Kolkata, as you said, and I do mountaineering because of my passion. It is not my profession. I work for BSNL and I'm posted in Kolkata. And in between work and personal life, whenever I can arrange money and enough leaves, holidays, I go for climbing mountains. So yeah, I attempted Manaslu, which is the 8th highest mountain in the world, 8163 meters above sea level. This past season, autumn 2022, that is in September, I was with 8K expeditions. So long story short, I was just, to be very clear in the beginning, I did not summit. The highest altitude that I was on Manaslu was 6800 meters. That is Camp 3. Because if I am remembering correctly, on the 26th of September, as soon as I reached Camp 3 around 11 a.m. in the morning, 10 minutes within reaching, I was still outside. Just, I dropped my rucksack and I was enjoying the views, and Mingmadai was preparing hot water for me. I cannot say that I was, it was definitely not a fortunate event, very, very unfortunate. But I saw an avalanche taking place between Camp 3 and 4 right in front of me, and I still had the time to take out my mobile camera and I got it on record. I saw it. It was big enough to kill one Sherpa, and some of our teammates who were in their summit bed were also caught in that avalanche, but fortunately enough, they escaped with minor injuries only. And as soon as that hit, it was all chaos in Camp 3. My Sherpa, and I loved the fact he did not even intimate me, tell me. He just ran to rescue. And all the Sherpas, our camp was the farthest. 8K expedition, elite, 7th summit, all the major agencies, Imagine Nepal, they rushed to the rescue. And later it was, because when I recorded it in my camera, I could not make out that somebody had died. I saw small tiny dots. Those were people, of course. They were sliding, having a free fall over the slope, having a free fall. And later we got the news that one of the Sherpas succumbed. All the others, some with minor and some with major injuries, survived the avalanche, and they were, so a few of them were rescued from Camp 3, heli-rescued from Camp 3. So this is what I saw as soon as I reached Camp 3. And so this was during the summit bed. And but to be very particular, as soon as we reached, the day we reached the base camp until the summit day, literally speaking, there was not a single day where we did not have rain. And as much as I know, if it is raining in the base camp, it must be snowing up in the higher camps. So it was bad weather from day one, consistently bad weather from day one. So the avalanche was not the only reason for me to turn back. There were two other reasons specifically. Number one, consistent bad weather from day one till the day I reached Camp 3. Every day was raining and cloudy. The sun was out only for maybe 10-15 minutes, and again it would get clouded very quickly. And the third important reason was that actually I was supposed to be there on the summit bed the day the avalanche took place. And the reason I was not there, because during my rotations, I had a very, very severe headache in Camp 2. I could not sleep the entire night. So that is why I successfully convinced Lakpadai that the original plan was in the summit push from base camp to Camp 1, overnight stay at Camp 1, Camp 1 to directly to Camp 3, no staying in Camp 2. But since my last experience in Camp 2 was extremely bad, I managed to convince Lakpadai that I need an extra night in Camp 2. I stayed back in Camp 2, and the rest of the team, Naveen Mallesh was there and some others. Naveen Mallesh is an Indian. He's from Bangalore, owner of Trek Nomads. So he was with us, and Bushera was with us. So, and a few others. So they continued to Camp 3. So the night I spent in Camp 2, they spent that night in Camp 3. And next day, when I started my hike or climb from 2 to 3, they were on their summit bed. So, I had a gut feeling that I was supposed to be there on that wall between Camp 3 and 4. So maybe this is the mountain telling me that you shouldn't be here. So I did not feel very good about it. And physically, I was 100%. Camp 3, I slept well. Slept well in the sense I was thinking after I saw the avalanche, I was, calculating whether to go on or turn back. It was very difficult, but I had no headaches as such. But taking all these three reasons, bad weather, witnessing an avalanche, and the fact that I was supposed to be there. So considering these three factors, I turned back.
Yeah, that's a good decision actually. I saw the pictures.
No,
later.
but I'll be sorry to interrupt, Venkat sir. I'll be honest. I still, I feel that I have let down just a little bit, so many people, because I crowdfunded for this project, and I never did I expect so much amount of money that I was able to raise. All the well-wishers, those who helped me. So I really wanted a summit for them more than myself, but 95% I'm okay with the decision because I'm alive and I have all my fingers and I'm in one piece. But that 5%, I still have that feeling. I'm being honest. Yeah. And I would also, sorry to interrupt again. I would also like to mention that my kind of approach is whenever I pick and choose a mountain, I try to gather as much information as possible from the internet, from Google, from people who have climbed. And this is the way I came across your profile. I got to know from Tim Bognadov from Sweden. I got to know from his Instagram account that you both were together when you were attempting Manaslu. So I messaged you and you were so helpful and always accessible and, answering me with all my questions and doubts. So that is how we connected over each other, although we haven't met, but I believe we are very good friends. So
yeah,
just a quick story.
This is the magic of mountaineering. We are far, but we are close. We never met. That's how it happens. So we both became friends through Tim Bogdanov. So
yeah,
I accidentally met him, and then see, it's a connection. It's a very good connection. Anyway, so where did it start? When did you start your mountaineering journey?
I'll start from the very beginning. Before climbing or mountaineering, I was trekking a lot. So, and as you know, you can have a pass even if you're not in the best shape of your life with a few treks. You need not necessarily be in the best shape to trek. So I was trekking. I trekked in India. I did Gochela was my first trek in Sikkim. That was with India Hikes. And then I did Sandakphu. Again, that was with India Hikes. And I know you have a Sandakphu connection also. So, and then I moved to Nepal for trekking. I did Annapurna circuit trek. So that trek, changed me forever. So Thorongla is the highest point in the Annapurna circuit trek, 5416 meters. So until Thorongla, it was all okay, no problem. And anyways, I haven't had any problems, going up the mountain. It was always the descent which was bothering me, or which still bothers me. it is a little problem. So after the descent from Thorongla to Muktinath, I think you have also been to Annapurna circuit. So it is a crazy descent. It is all descent, descent, descent. You know, then it is very bad for the knees. So, and at that time I was obese and I was overweight. I think I was more than 90 kilos. And add to that, you know, 13 kilos backpack. So 100 kilos I was weighing at that time. So that descent was, I thought I'll have some major injury while descending. And my pace slowed down. I was very, very slow. We were three friends, me, Shubhranshu, and Joas. I'm still in touch with Joas. He's from Netherlands. Yeah. So we were three friends. They were all good. They were having no such problems, but they slowed down because I was slow. So it was evening. We reached Muktinath by then. So I thought that day, the amount of pain which I experienced in my knees, that was the worst. And I haven't experienced it, you know, even now. So that was the most amount of knee pain I had. So that day I realized one thing: if I have to keep coming back to the mountains, I need to change my lifestyle. I need to be fitter, get in shape, and be that way. Otherwise, there were two options: either to continue with my existing lifestyle, or to choose the mountains and change the lifestyle. Because I used to drink and smoke at that time. So that, you know, forced me to change my lifestyle. And then I quit smoking. I carried on with drinking for a few more months, and then eventually I quit drinking also. I went into fitness. I started going to the gym, and all organically, naturally, I lost 3 kilos, 20 kilos, sorry, from 93 to 73. 20 kilos I lost in 3 months. And I also came across a few YouTube channels, Dr. Eric Berg, from where I learned the benefits of intermittent fasting, and that has become a lifestyle now. I'm still following it. So it is a lifestyle. Every day I do intermittent fasting. I never do my breakfast, and I have not had any negative effects on my body personally. Although I cannot back it with science because I do not have that scientific knowledge, but for me it has worked 100%. I have been doing intermittent fasting last 3-4 years, and a flexible version of keto diet because I have a craving for biscuits, so I cannot, you know, reduce the carbs that much as recommended in a keto diet. And then of course workout. I work out mainly cardio. So yeah, so yeah, coming to the story. So this is, then I changed my lifestyle and I got fitter, and then I decided now I can, you know, choose an even more difficult trek with add-ons or off-route, you know, side routes. For example, EBC plus three passes plus Island Peak. So while I was searching for EBC and three passes, Kongmala, Chola, and Renjola, then I came across in the internet that there was a side trail where you can, you know, take a detour from Dingboche to Chukung and then reach Island Peak base camp, and you can attempt Island Peak. So I came across that peak, and it was just adding 2 or 3 more days to my itinerary, and the cost was not significantly high. So I thought, why not go for Island Peak? And then, as usual, I finished watching all the videos related to Island Peak in YouTube. And the most challenging part was the final ice wall. I think it is 150 meters height of ice wall. That was the most challenging part, and technical also. So I started preparing for Island Peak 1 year. I did all I could, and eventually I climbed it successfully. And after climbing Island Peak, I got into, you know, this climbing bug bit me, and then yeah.
How was the view from the Island Peak? I cannot stop. I mean, I cannot resist myself to stop because I have seen that view from
Have
that.
you climbed Island Peak?
No, but I was
No,
there on
you
top
did not
of
climb. So
Kongmala. I saw the view from Kongmala.
From the summit of Island Peak, you cannot see Everest because the massive Lhotse south face. So the south face is blocking Mount Everest, and it is huge, immense.
Yes.
I have a few
I get
photos
goosebumps
also
even right now if I imagine that view.
Crazy.
See, you see
And
like
you know,
10, 11 glaciers around it, na? So many glaciers.
yes, very.
Yeah.
And you also have the Imja Glacier. In Nepal, it is called Imja Sho.
That's it.
The Imja Glacier, that is the source over there.
Mhm.
So beautiful, beautiful. The village Chukung is also beautiful. So this is how my mount, and then the climbing bug bit me.
Yeah.
So then one more thing. When I was doing the EBC trail, you know, you have 2 or 3 entire days where you can see Amadablam right on the right.
Yeah.
So while I was going for Island Peak, I thought, okay, so this may be the next mountain which I can try. And then I researched, and so it was very technical and all. So that gave me, you know, more motivation to prepare even harder and go for it. But I wouldn't recommend anybody doing Amadablam without a BMC. Actually, again, this is a long story. My planning was I had applied for a BMC in Nimas, Arunachal Pradesh. So my planning was to do the BMC in the first half of the year, and after completing my BMC, go for Amadablam in October, November. And then COVID happened.
Okay.
COVID happened, so they postponed.
Yeah.
So, and eventually I ended up doing BMC with HMI after Amadablam, but I wouldn't recommend anyone trying Amadablam without a BMC. That is borderline dangerous.
Yeah. Okay.
So this is how it began for me.
So you've been in EBC all 3 passes and
No, I did the EBC, Island Peak, and only Kongmala that time because I was alone. You know, my Sherpa guide was telling me, "जे आप तो 3 पास के लिए आए हो, लेकिन Island Peak करने के बाद आपको और मन नहीं करेगा, आपको मन करेगा घर जाने का." And that exactly happened with me. After Island Peak, I came back to Chukung and then crossed Kongmala, Lobuche, EBC, and then I went back home.
You tried that way. That side is like too far to go to Kongma. Kongmala is like,
yeah.
It seems very difficult from that part, that side. But if
I
you cross
think, for acclimatization, this route, for acclimatization, Kongmala and then Ranjola Chola is better.
Yeah, it's like more or less the same. But see, one pass it is far distance, like other side is more distance, and one pass this side is shorter. So
yeah, it is.
The approach route to Kongmala from Lobuche is shorter.
Shorter than probably steeper also.
Yes, steeper.
Probably.
The moraine is very loose after we cross Khumbu Glacier. So that's a classic route. First you cross to Khumbu Glacier from Lobuche, and then climb up in this loose moraine rock from the
yes
the starting
very
point
loose.
of Khumbu Glacier.
Yes.
Yeah. So I've been there.
So I have plans to visit Gokyo also. That is a beautiful village. Maybe sometime in the future.
6 times Gokyo.
6 times.
6 times. Yeah. Man, it's.
I have that in my checklist. I have that in my.
So that happens only for training. See, EBC is a very classic place. It got. This is a very popular destination, very popular destination in the world for mountaineering, and we have all facilities everywhere. So we do need to worry about other logistics if we want to train for high altitude climbing. So that's why I choose it. It's faster. I know every place. We know every place already. So it's easy. What was the planning? Like Manaslu. Okay, we'll talk a little more about Manaslu. So when did this started on your mind? You want to climb Manaslu, and then what is the preparation you did? What is the timings? What time you wake up every day morning, and then what time you sleep? What you eat? Like, how did I just want to know that story.
Yeah, so it
must be a very incredible journey for more than like 1 year or something, at least 6 to 8 months of your discipline, right? So how you cracked that one? Because that is the most difficult part of any athlete, you know, consistency.
Exactly.
Yeah.
True. Very true. I'll tell when that thought came into my mind. After coming back from Amadablam, I was unsuccessful in the sense that I could not reach the summit. So, but news spread in my local hometown, Siliguri, and there were, you know, a few reporters coming in to take the interview. So at that time, the reporter asked me what next, since Ama is not done with, but you came back from Ama, so now which is the next mountain you want to climb? And then instantaneously, I told them that Manaslu, I want to try an 8,000er now, and I do not want to go for Everest. Two reasons for that. Number one, Everest is very expensive. And number two, I want to enjoy Everest. I don't want Everest to be my first 8,000er because I can never enjoy my first 8,000er. There are a lot of things to learn, experience, and then go for Everest. That is my thinking and my belief that Everest, once you feel you are ready, you should go for Everest because Everest is for you to enjoy the kind of history that is attached with Everest.
Irrespective of this difficult, दूर की बात है, preparation.
Yeah. So in my mind, I had already chosen Manaslu because as far as I have read on the internet, although no 8,000er is easy, but Manaslu is considered to be a relatively easier 8,000er and cheaper also as compared to Everest. So after fixing Manaslu, I started all my research, and that is how, as I stated earlier, that is how we came across. I came to know about you. Tim was 24/7. He was available, till the time he left for his own training. He was answering me on Instagram. And then Anurag, I think you know Anurag also. Anurag Nalavelli. If I'm saying that correctly.
He's a close friend now.
He also helped me a lot. Actually, I almost stalked all the people, those who attempted or submitted Manaslu. I always I have received solutions or answers to my questions. So I think people like to help each other, and this is the special thing about our mountaineering community. So after gathering all the information, I thought it is doable. I was after AMA, I did BMC in 2021. So 2021, no climbing, only BMC. And we had the height gain. We climbed Mount Renok, which is approximately 5,000 in the Kanchenjunga National Park in Sikkim. So in 2021, only BMC and nothing else. And I started saving for Manaslu because, as you know, arranging money is more difficult than climbing the mountain itself. So my preparation already began in 2021. So I was already preparing for Manaslu from 2021. But then, before leaving for the expedition, the last 3-4 months, that is when most of us try to peak without injuring ourselves. So that's the idea, to push a little more before 2-3 months. Of course, the last month and 15-20 days, we need to rest a little bit more and recover. So physically, I thought I was in good shape. I wouldn't say perfect shape, but good shape. And now I had the technical knowledge from BMC. And then one interesting thing happened. Sunil Nataraj is from Bangalore. Although it is just the same case like us, we haven't met in person, but he's a very good mentor. I can call him friend also. Very experienced, well-read, very knowledgeable. So we follow each other on Instagram. And just 1 month prior to leaving for Manaslu, he said, because I was actually attempting Manaslu without oxygen. So that was the idea. But I was ready to take oxygen if need be. So one day he messaged me, you are attempting Manaslu without oxygen. So are you practicing any breathing exercise in particular? I said, no, I'm just doing my cardio runs, long runs, interval runs, short runs, high tempo runs, and the strength training, cardio, cycling, cardio and weight training. Nothing in particular with the breathing exercise. And then I said him, I knew about the Wim Hof method, and then he insisted me to try the Wim Hof method, to start breathing exercises as well. Although he said it was only 1 month, 30 odd days that I had, before leaving for Manaslu. How much it would help me, he was unsure, but I was ready to give it a go. And I started doing breathing exercises, for example, exhaling as much as I can, and then, holding my breath. And of course, checking the heartbeat and the oxygen saturation level, all that, under the guidance of Sunil sir. And I think it helped me. In my later runs also, I realized my breathing was much more sorted, and I was not heavy breathing or panting during my runs. And I am so thankful to him. Almost, forced me to, no, you have to do this will help you, at least try it, there's no wrong in trying. So I did weight training, mostly cardio, and a little bit of breathing exercises as well before leaving for Manaslu. And as I said, I still follow intermittent fasting. Like today's, I have had my food for today. I'll be eating tomorrow again. So intermittent fasting has become a lifestyle, and no junk foods, minimum junk foods, eating clean, working out, and having a good lifestyle, sleeping early, waking up early. The thought behind drinking at altitudes is just to warm our body. That is baseless, I think.
Yes, I agree.
No matter where you are, drinking eventually dehydrates you.
Yes.
So that can never be a good thing. Dehydrating at altitude, there can be nothing more dangerous. So yeah.
They know it.
I like that work ethic. So no means no.
Yes, exactly.
Even
perfect.
With a summit, no alcohol. Without a summit, no alcohol. No alcohol. No
That's a good thing.
And this is this is the life which I'm leading now. I'm really enjoying it, because the mountains have forced me to change my lifestyle, and now I'm totally disciplined. Sometimes I have my cheat days, but on those cheat days I have street food, momos, biryani.
So the transformation. What about transformation? You changed from a fatty, chubby guy to a six-pack.
Yes, as I told you earlier, I was forced to transform myself, because I had to choose between being obese and overweight or keep coming back to the mountains. So of course, that was the obvious choice. I had no other choice. If you fast for 16 hours or more, the benefits of fasting and intermittent fasting has helped me a lot. As I've said earlier, I have been doing that for the past 3-4 years now, and it has become a lifestyle, and I enjoy it. I really enjoy it. The minimum hours of fast that I do is 16 hours, but sometimes I do OMAD also. I mean, one meal a day. I have suppose I have a meal at 2 o'clock in the afternoon, and that meal is pretty big, and it'll go on in small portions. I will take 45 minutes to 50 minutes to complete that meal. It'll have everything, and then my next meal will be the next day. So it is almost 24 hours of fasting that I do in between. And one more thing, I always work out in a fasted state. Always. Only water, and maybe water is unlimited. I mean, not unlimited, but water sufficient.
You can have any
and one cup of black coffee, hot water and coffee. That's it. No sugar, nothing.
Yes. Yeah.
That's what I do.
Yeah.
And I would like to say that I do all my runs. Today also I ran about 8 kilometers. No fatigue. I did not feel low in energy, or I was not having a headache, or no feeling of a breakdown. I was full of energy. So maybe my body has adapted since I have been doing this for a long time. But again, 20 or 24 hours fasting is not recommended. I also started gradually. I started with 12-hour fasting, and then 14, then 16, and now the minimum that I do is 16 hours fasting. So that is my lifestyle right now.
Altitude, once you reach certain altitude, above 6,000 meters, the body changes. I mean, you will actually experience it once you come back. The stamina exponentially grows. 10 kilometers will become 10 kilometers is like easier. Initially, you will have some trouble to pick up to the back to the level.
But I think there's some kind of long-term change.
In
altitude.
Yes, exactly.
Long-term change.
Yeah. So what is the next step now? Tomorrow, like this 2023, you want to climb any mountains, or you want to train yourself further, or what is the 8,000er plan, or 7,000er plan, 6,000er plan? What is it?
I've recently become a father, so I'm the father of a very beautiful baby boy. He's Leo. He's named Leo. So he's 1.5 years old right now. So since now I have a small baby boy, so additional responsibility and finance is also much more important right now. I would love to go back to Nepal this year and climb, but that is not possible for me, at least in this year. So the idea in 2023 is to climb somewhere in India, preferably a 7,000er. I have a few options. Probably Ladakh is, right now it is looking like I'll be climbing in Ladakh, maybe maybe Kun or Nun or both. So that is the idea for 2023. I've just started to begin my training slowly to get into that rhythm. I cannot work out regularly because I have after coming back from office, I have to look after my boy. I also want to spend time with him. It is unfair on him also. If I, morning I work out, go to office, come back tired, sleep early, to wake up early next day. So it's unfair on him also. So I'm trying to manage all these things and taking, whenever I get some free time, I go to the gym, go for my run. So that is how is life right now. And I'm planning a climb. If I eventually climb Kun or Nun, the season would be mid-July to August, July. So I have 5 odd months more. So I think 5 months would be enough. So that's the plan. And the primary reason for climbing in India is the finance. It is a lot cheaper to climb a 7,000er in India than in Nepal.
Yeah, Nepal is a big platform for climbing, so obviously it will be expensive.
And expensive also for every non-Nepali citizen. It is expensive. You have the permit issues, and you have to go with an agency there who have their margins and all.
Exactly.
But talking about agencies, I should mention about Lakpa Sherpa. I first communicated with him during Amadabla, 8K expeditions he has formed. So I have a very good relationship with him. I consider him family. So whenever I go to Nepal, even for a visit, I make sure I meet him and we talk. So he has been very helpful. He has kept all my requests, all that you guys can try 8K expedition. This is not a promotion, by the way. I honestly feel that they are very professional, helpful, and of course vastly experienced. I think most of the agencies are. It is just that how well you connect to any one person, any one particular person. So I have connected to Lakpadai pretty well. So whenever in Nepal, Lakpadai is the man.
Yes. Of course. So the moments, what you have any moment that the world, I want to pause the world, or I want the world to stand still when you're on the mountain? Manaslu or Island Peak or anywhere in the mountains. There is a moment. There will be a moment,
yes,
right?
But
I want this moment to freeze.
Yes, personally, those moments are at night only. Even in Island Peak, the night before the summit push, when I went out of the tent to pee, I saw a billion stars, and that is just mesmerizing. And I will not try to explain it in words because I will fail miserably. I know that you have also witnessed that situation or that scene, so you very well know how it feels like to see a billion stars, unadulterated stars, in the sense that there are no pollution there. So this time in Manaslu, in Camp 3, again, our Nalgene pee bottle was full, so I need to unload it outside my tent. So just I put my head out to unload the pee bottle, and then I saw a billion stars. I just wanted to get out and click a picture, but it was too cold. So those moments, that is why we climb, I believe. Because Manaslu, this entire season was cloudy. We did not have very good views of the peak of the, I think that is the East Pinnacle. So that was visible sometimes, but beautiful mountain Manaslu, as you know. And one differentiating moment also, not differentiating, one impactful moment was that avalanche. Really, after that avalanche, the chaos that unfolded over there, the rope between Camp 3 to 4 snapped. So the people were all around the ice wall. When they returned to Camp 3 and they were in a safe position, they were crying like babies that people were free falling, and I could not help. And that exact moment, I decided that I should consider going back, because if something happens to me, this is the same way my family will cry. And that struck me. So although my two expeditions were not successful in terms of summit, but I learned a lot. I think because between Camp 3 and the route to Camp 4, there's a big crevasse.
Yeah.
There's a big crevasse. So if the avalanche is not very big, Camp 3 will stay unaffected. Camp 3 is relatively safe in case of a small avalanche. But if there is a bigger avalanche, it can sweep away Camp 3 as well. But that is how it is, you know.
Yeah.
But Manaslu weather, just to share one thing, I heard one of the European climbers, you know, discussing this matter with their friends, that this year, particularly K2 and Manaslu switched places. K2 had record number of summits,
Yes.
and Manaslu probably the worst weather in Manaslu's history. So
Yeah,
K2 I think had 160 plus summits.
Okay.
160 plus summits, and Manaslu was a disaster for many. We have had a few summits, few without supplemental oxygen summits. So and of course Christine Harila from Norway, she had the first summit of the season. That was also a brave call. That is a separate story. We were all, you know, going or keeping an eye over her GPS, whether she will go up or not. And two of the biggest agencies of Nepal, they had called off the summit bid because they were expecting a snowstorm. So they were like, our summit bid is postponed until further notice, etc. We saw that on their Instagram handles. And half an hour later, we get a message from Christine, we are going for the summit that same night. But what my basic feeling was, I did not have a very good feeling to continue on that mountain. And that was, I think that was good enough for me to turn back, because it is all about feeling. No? If you're not feeling safe.
Yeah, not only that, after you guys have returned, there is another snowstorm.
Oh, yes, yes. I forgot
to mention. It came until
yes.
base camp, right? I want to understand
yes,
that.
Yes. So that same day from Camp 3, I descended to base camp. Next day, Lakpadai arranged a helicopter. I went to Kathmandu. And after reaching Kathmandu, 2 or 3 days later, I saw on the internet that there was a huge avalanche in the base camp. But fortunately, there were no fatalities in the base camp. But because of that avalanche, between Camp 1 to Camp 2, there was another, you know, Sherpa who fell into a crevasse, and then he was dead. He expired by his fall to a crevasse. So, and there was another accident up top, Hillary Nelson, the famous US mountaineer and skier. So that was in totality this year. There were 3, I think, three casualties. Yeah. So when I was in Kathmandu, I thought then, I think wahi sahi decision hua, because not only on 26 September, the day I reached Camp 3, I saw that avalanche in front of my eyes. And then I got to learn from the Sherpas, there was an avalanche the prior day as well. So avalanche on 25th, 26th. And there were a series of avalanches, which I saw in base camp. Probably when I get time, I'll share on Instagram also. Though I have those videos. And again, when I returned to Kathmandu, there was 1 or 2 avalanches, big avalanches. So in hindsight, I think, again, it was a good decision. But that 5% still, you know, I feel.
Yeah. Anyway, that, you have time. You can hit it.
And that is why I can, you know, I'm here speaking about those experiences with you.
Yeah.
Because I'm alive in one piece.
Yeah. So the reason for talking more about Manaslu is, like, I have a very close connection with this mountain, because that's my first 8,000er. I haven't been on any big mountain before that. Any mountain above 6,000 meters. Okay. So I tried Tibba for a couple of times. First time was a tragic story. It's personal because it's a failure, personal failure. And the second time, bad weather, because the mountain Tibba is a 6,000 meters mountain. But after you reach a gully called Dhuhangan Kol, from there is a section where you walk on the glacier and then take a gully, go up, and then summit the mountain. So there is a section where it gets really dangerous. And then the choosing time was wrong. It was a wrong timing.
Okay.
If we had done it on in June or July, mid June to mid July, the snow conditions would be a little better. I know I want to do it. The craving,
In which month?
2019
May.
May is not a good big not a. I mean, May is a good season. See, normally
Okay.
in September or July, end of July, mid July or mid July or end of June, snow conditions will be a bit better. You don't get snow
Stable.
up, no snow up to 4,000 meters.
Okay.
But in this season, from May 18th to June 1st, I tried. There we started get to snow from 3,200, 3,300 meters. It's really bad condition that time.
Venkat sir, I believe that coming back alive is no summit is even worth losing your little finger.
Yeah, exactly.
That's what I believe. Rational decisions are very important.
Exactly. So
Up in
after that, I did a couple of times EBC. One in just before COVID, I went to EBC.
Okay.
And then after that, like full practice. And then, yeah, I want to do something, I want to do a 1,000 meter. So yeah, a little bit of preparation. And then I went to Manaslu. So yeah, I could summit. I remember that day. So it was always, always it was like this, summit today, tomorrow. So first we went up to Camp 3 and then came back. Okay. And then from base
first rotation you went to Camp 3?
Camp 3, yes.
First rotation Camp 3.
Yes,
okay.
Yes. The first time when I reached an altitude above where I have not been, that time I had
okay.
I had a
so
very
that
bad.
Was your highest altitude that you have been?
Camp 1 was the highest altitude. First time, 5,800 meters.
Yeah.
So Camp 1, I started to get shivering, when I reached there, because of it's so cold, and I couldn't control my shivering. That's the moment, first step of learning. Okay, now consistency, like okay. I was collapsing that time. That was the condition because of the cold. So what I did, I couldn't say, and these the managers, base camp managers, everybody, they observe us, right? It's their responsibility also to save us if we cannot.
Yes.
They don't want any casualties or any trouble, so they were worried. And then Tembadai was a bit skeptical about my next. So what I did, I just focused. I just want to get into a tent. That's it. I went inside a tent and sat there, and then I opened my this one, the thermo flask
bottle,
and then I put hot water. I mean, I took hot water and then I put both my fingers into it.
Okay.
I mean, it's irrelevant stuff, but and then I did this one.
Okay. Just to warm your fingers.
Yes.
So one question: how was your because that was the highest you have ever been to, 5,800.
Yeah.
Which is Camp 1. So how was your headache over there? Any headache issues?
No. No headache.
No headache.
No headache. I mean, that was the precaution I took. I don't want to get headache. If I get even slight headache, I want to return.
No, but what did you do to avoid headache? Because from base camp to Camp 1, I think that is almost 1,000 meter ascent.
Yeah.
Probably even a bit more, I think.
Yeah.
So
I did.
What precautions did you take?
Precautions means first, before going to Manaslu base camp, I went to EBC for training. We did faster. Where I met
Tim. So probably so already acclimatized. So that's
already acclimatized, and then Tim changed my body behavior because he is so strong. I want to compete with him, and I am always 40 minutes behind him or 30 minutes behind him.
Tim is crazy.
Is crazy, right? So there is a every day there is a target. I want to beat this guy. So the last day before, 2 days before the climb, we camped that night in Lobuche. Next day morning, 8 o'clock, we started from Lobuche. We went to Kalapathar summit and then returned by 12 o'clock. 4 hours.
4 hours?
Yes. That's the fastest. And then I want to match Tim's pace. But unfortunately, I couldn't match because his stamina is next level. But we sat on the summit for 20 minutes, and then we had a good quick glimpse of Mount Everest in that monsoon season. Just like 1 minute of Everest view, and then later we turned back. So team waited for me there on the summit for.
Okay, so you were already acclimatized.
Yeah.
By the time you reached base camp. So yeah, this again was one more learning from me, that I got to learn that my body takes time to acclimatize, and that is why I had very bad headache on the first night in Camp 1 of Manaslu, on the first night in Camp 2 of Manaslu. But my second night in Camp 1 and Camp 2 were fine. Yeah. So I can conclude that my body acclimatizes slowly. So what I've decided, before trying any major peak now, I will, first try a smaller peak, or maybe, go to EBC Kalapathar to acclimatize. This I have decided. Yeah. From next time. Exactly. So this is one more learning which I got.
So that was the condition, on the Camp 1 when I first reached there. It is the first time I reached an altitude that is, I have never been, I was never been up to there, 5,800 meters. I was there up to 5,600. But the short distance, newness, right? Yeah, terrible shivering. Sudden weakness, suddenly you are
your body tired, is like switched
off. Completely. Not switched off, but you can't, your strength is gone. That kind of feeling. And also, and the mistake what I did, it was very bright in the afternoon, a lot of sweat.
Warm clothes.
I removed the upper layer of my, but it was, see, going to Camp 1, there is a section, like it was a U-turn. So
yes,
there is a small steep section.
I mean, you negate the crevasses, and then there's a steep section.
There is a small steep section, and then there is a little flat surface on the top where there is Camp 1. So this part, after climbing there, suddenly it got so cold, and then see, till then it was bright. When I reached a bit
and
late,
then I think you were on the shade. I think
yes,
that's a little.
That's a little shady.
The portion is under shade.
Yeah, the shade. So I went into this tent, and then I recovered for some time, and then wore all my, warm clothes, and then came out. But that cold was unbearable, And then I went into the kitchen place, sat in the warmth for some time, had some garlic soup, and then some noodles, and drinking water, and then came back. Nothing. I just came back in the tent and then slept at 6 p.m.
Slept well.
Slept very well till next day morning 4 a.m. Like nothing, no dreams, nothing. That was, I think that was the thing helped me, because I didn't do anything. I just put myself under warm clothes fully, and then crawled into my sleeping bag, slept all night. I don't want to watch the beauty or something like that, because I want to recover. Tomorrow morning I have a long day again, because going to Camp 2, there are a couple of
Camp 2, that is the
Zoomering sections in the middle, right? So ladders are there are a couple of ladders, etc. So
I have one question. Since I have been only up to Camp 3, I did not go beyond Camp 3. Can you explain how is it like after Camp 3 till Camp 4 to the summit? Can you please?
Okay. So Camp 3, from Camp 2, Camp 3 is a bit steep section. It's a short distance, but a steep.
But nothing technical. Just steep, nothing technical.
Yeah, nothing. Yeah, a bit of technical. See, depends on the season to season, how much snow you are.
Yes, season to season. Yeah, it varies. Yes, correct.
From Camp 3, it's like 6,800 meters to 7,500 meters. It's all up. 7,430 meters, 7,450 meters, like that. It's all up only. But it is classic. And then you turn back and then see, it's all flat, and then it is like space. I can't forget those moments. So it's all steep. It's like nearly 60 degrees, something like that. Yeah, 60 degrees or 50 degrees elevation, not 45 or below. It is a bit more. and then go up. It's all up, 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 and then
Yes, because there's a huge
cornice.
wall.
There is a cornice. Or we go
Okay.
under the cornice, and then traverse, and then climb up again. There, Camp 4
Okay.
is stay. Camp 4 is a very safe place. It is in a kind of small gully, an arch section there. It's a little flat surface. Camp 4 is a safe zone. Camp 4, I slept there. We reached Camp 4 by 2 o'clock in the afternoon.
2 in the morning?
In the afternoon.
No, in the afternoon.
Yes, in the afternoon.
In the afternoon, sorry.
So my condition is like always early. 6 a.m. we have to depart from the camp. 6 a.m. before, even if it is 5 a.m., it is even better. You sleep at night, wake up early 4 a.m., get ready by 5 a.m. and then depart. Pack your bag and then go. That is my rule. Because early morning we have good climate. Of course, we will also see the forecast, but still early mornings are the best.
Generally, it is better.
Yeah, less wind and then hard snow.
So you reached 2 in the afternoon, and then you were, drinking water, eating food. And what did you do after reaching Camp 4? And
first we have to set up our tent. So we shared Ridhar was my co-climber, the Sherpa, Ridhar Bote.
Okay.
So he's also very good. Tembadai arranged him. He is my partner. And we set up the tent. It was a bit difficult, breathing, etc. But the bright sun gave a lot of warmth, and that was the classic conditions. It was very, very awesome, very good, clean, clear sky. And then
weather, beautiful weather.
Yeah, beautiful. And then Nimsdai, he was shooting for his film. Thin air and then less gravity, and then you go up suddenly, blood circulation.
Yeah.
Impacts. So these are the conditions, setting up the tent and then getting ice from the far away, clean ice for boiling, and then cooking. We boiled water and then cooked noodles, ate it, and then Ridhar was checking his oxygen cylinders. He started using oxygen. He put an oxygen mask for sleeping also. But I don't want to do it. I want to see that. I see how my body can take, how much my body can take. So
body can take. What is your boundary?
What is my boundary? I tried, and then next day morning, not morning, so midnight 10:45 we woke up. Actually, the most funniest, happiest thing, afternoon around 3 o'clock we started sleeping. We couldn't get any sleep, so we watched the Pursuit of Happiness movie in Camp 4.
Okay. Pursuit of Happiness, Will Smith.
Yeah, Will Smith.
Amazing movie.
So because that's the only thing, we have to divert our mind from the summit pressure.
Yes.
So
you have
take
to
it as
it somewhere else.
It is like an examination, man. It is like the most difficult examination of your life. Tomorrow, what is the weather? How whether I will live or not, that is another condition.
Yes. Very anxious moments.
Very, very fantastic moments. That day, I mean, that was the moment I asked you a question like, what is the moment you want to freeze? So I want to freeze that moment in Camp 4.
Okay. And then please take me through that journey then.
Yeah. So and then I went outside and then and Anurag came after some time. Anurag and Leo from America and Anurag, both of them they were climbing. So Anu was there, and then I went to his tent and then greeted them, and then came back, and then slept.
Wow.
And then again happens. See, we have to take care of our boots, crampon. Boots are fine, the outer layer, but the inner layer cannot get cold.
And
so what covered. We did, we stuffed everything in the sleeping bag, and then put our legs and then started to sleep. Okay, but the cold is so much, it is like more than -30 or -40, man. It's like that. I didn't check the temperature. I only checked the altitude with I don't have any other gadgets. Actually, I did not have any gadgets. Even my phone doesn't support any. It doesn't have a magnetometer and an altimeters, etc. So I asked a foreigner to see this one. She had an iPhone. She showed me the altitude. And then so exactly around 7:30, it's getting dark, and then it's dark already. We want to sleep.
7:30 in the evening.
7:30 p.m. And then fingers, the toes are like so burning cold. I mean, it's like so cold. So what we did, we like immediately we woke up, and then we sat. We have made hot water, filled those hot, like fully boiling water in the Nalgene bottles, and then put them inside the sleeping bag.
Inside the sleeping bag.
And then both of us, we put our legs on the Nalgene hot water bottles and then slept. That 4 hours of sleep, I tell you, the best sleep I ever have till now.
So you even slept at Camp 4?
You
got to sleep at...
Yes, I slept. This is the... So that day, when I learned my body, preparation.
Then your body acclimatizes very well.
So that is the moment I want to freeze again, second moment. And then it starts. After 10:45 p.m., we started from the summit. We started for the summit push. It's a never-ending short distance of around 1 kilometer. Less than.
But how is the gradient?
Gradient is not too steep, but there are sections a bit steeper. But see, from Camp 4 to summit, the section is not too technical or too difficult to scale. But the altitude is the most toughest part.
Makes it difficult.
There are sections where you have to really go up, really use your full shoulder strength. At least like 50-meter section is there. There is a section close to 8,000 meters place. It's the toughest one of entire climb. Small section.
Okay.
There we have a flag, 8,000 meters flag. So I want to complete my climb without oxygen, but there were sections like, I don't know, I was under a good condition. I have senses, everything. But there was a moment when I was walking and then too much of breathing.
Panting.
And then panting, all that stuff. And then Ridhar said, like, I think you should use oxygen. He was very angry about me that not taking oxygen. Angry means he want to kick my ass, I'm sure, because my what is a stubbornness to not use oxygen. I mean, he was so angry. He was scolding me all the way. But and then I said, okay, I will use oxygen, because I want to see a maximum. Even if I go to Camp 4, that is my success, because I am not strong. I am a weak person.
No.
So that was the thing. But
Camp 4, you have slept 4 hours.
Yeah, that was surprising fact for me as well.
7,500 you have slept 4 hours.
That was a very good
without
sleep.
Oxygen.
And then I also checked the breathing, and also I checked my condition. I introspected myself. Yeah, it was good. Then next day no headache and entire climb. But after reaching 8,000 meters, mind changed. The guilt was gone. The pressure was gone. Okay. And then exactly by 5:20 a.m., I was there on the summit. 5:20 a.m.
And then you descended
to base camp directly.
Definitely not the same day.
Same day. Morning 5:20 a.m. I was there on the summit. There is another story between the summit and then base camp. For Camp 4, there is another story, small story. Weather. How weather plays. So descending, it was good. It was okay. I removed, I came back to 8,000 meters. I removed my oxygen and then started slowly. It was okay, good. Suddenly weather changed, fully snow blizzard came, and then completely in like matter of like 10 minutes, everything is gone. Nothing, no trails. 1 foot trail is gone. Like nearly 1 foot or half foot trail is gone. So we have to, there were 3-4 people, Iranian people, and then so somehow we managed to go to camp.
They didn't mark the trail with flags or wands.
That wind, man, everything will go away. So it's gone, and then and then again we had to go a little bit off track, and then finally came back, and then sat there at above Camp 4 for like 15 minutes, rest. That was the moment, like I was never tired of that kind, and then most happiest tiredness of my life, until then.
That
Sat
finally
there.
you have done it
Yeah. Not
and you're going
sat
down.
on the summit, and then I felt suddenly, yes, I am on the top right now. The mission accomplished. And then I remember my grandmother. So she passed away on the year in the last October of 2020. So I remember I gave her a farewell, and then I returned
So same day you reached base camp. By what time did you reach base camp?
evening 7:30 somewhere, 7:30 p.m. It was walk.
So you might have crossed a few ladders in the dark.
Yeah. No ladders in the dark. See, I reached camp 3 by
Because
1
there are a
p.m.
few ladders
From camp,
between base
two
camp.
ladders. Two ladders are there in the middle. There is one ladder between two ladders between camp 2 and camp 3. Sorry, camp 1 and camp 2
No,
there
it
are ladders.
changes.
Yeah, camp 1 and camp 2 there are ladders. Camp 2 and camp 3, the section is like the traverse is too difficult. Was too difficult actually. Going down is a problem for me. I mean, exhausting.
For me also.
It's
So that is why,
exhausting.
I was astonished when you said from summit to base camp. Probably I couldn't have done it.
Yeah,
at one
actually, I
go,
want to
because
stay there for some more time. I want to. Camp 4 to camp 3 was the most toughest descent till now for me. I sat after
Okay.
every 3 steps.
Why so?
I was tired. No sleep the entire
No,
night.
you were rappelling, no?
No
You were
rappel.
rappelling.
But still, I sat because I don't have because I have removed my oxygen.
Okay.
Normally, what does people do from some camp 3? People start using oxygen, and then camp 4 they sleep
Yes,
with oxygen, summit, and then
with
come back to
oxygen.
camp 3 with oxygen.
Till oxygen.
Yeah,
Using oxygen. Yes.
using oxygen,
And then they remove. Yes.
and then they remove it.
Okay, so that's the reason. Yes.
That was
Now I can understand.
Yeah, it was like so exhausting. But it was fun. It was, I mean, the rest moments of every 5 steps I sat, or every 3 steps I sat, and then I saw the mountain. I
So you
enjoyed
sat,
it.
and whenever you could, you absorbed all the
I
views,
enjoyed, yeah.
energy.
But it is also a bit, after you're doing, you can say anything, but still, I have this the minus 0.01% of regret that using oxygen in the last 163 meters.
No,
It's not regret.
That's okay.
But anyway, I don't.
I mean, you wish you could have done it without oxygen, but
Yeah.
it's okay. I think
Yeah, it's okay, no problem. See,
summiting
because
and more importantly coming back safe is
safe
more
is
important.
I mean, I don't have any this thing. My condition or this thing is my objective is objective is to do a mountain summit. It's without oxygen or without oxygen is not a matter. It is not my
It was
primary
the same
objective.
for me. I would have liked to do it without, but I was ready to take it if necessary.
Yeah.
I was very clear from the beginning. I was very clear about it. So seeing the route from 3 to 4, I felt like I could not get. I did not get to climb only. I returned from camp 3. That is why I.
But Anurag did without oxygen, the full summit. And
yes, I saw.
He came back next day, and we met, and then we traveled a lot. Later, we became good friends. And I also met a couple of other Spanish climbers, Jorge Igosiaga and Martin Ramos. These 2 guys. Jorge climbed all the 14 8,000ers without oxygen. Jorge Igosiaga.
Without oxygen.
Yes, all.
So what was he doing in Manaslu?
He came back.
Was that his last?
No, he is doing it again.
Again?
Yeah. He's
crazy.
He's a very, 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 very nice person. Martin Ramos, he did 9 8,000ers without oxygen. These guys, they are alpinists. They do without any support. They do it alone. They do it alone. And of course, that same day after I did on 28th September, 29th September, Tim Bogno submitted Dhalagiri and then returned. So that's the story. Yeah, that's the thing. So okay, I started telling my story actually. So the
No,
same
yeah,
day,
I have one more question.
yeah.
So what next?
What next? It's again, there are a couple of things, paisa and passion. So money, funds. So I'm working. I want to climb this mountain. Arranging funds.
But just a hint, an 8,000, if I'm guessing correctly.
I'm not sure. I mean, I have a couple of names in my mind, but yeah, I have a 8,000 is there in the mind. Probably this September, maybe autumn, I'll try after I fully
So
recover
nothing
from
in the spring?
Manaslu. I don't know. I'm preparing. I'm getting ready for it. I'm ready. Even tomorrow, if I get a chance, I'm ready physically. But financially, I'm not yet ready. So I'm working on that part. If
Yeah,
that
if you can
works,
arrange the funds, then
and then so it's not only this thing. It's a complete circle. The father or mother of
yes,
all sports, mountaineering. It's
correct.
it plays with mind and body and then everything. So I'm working on that. Let's see. I mean, no expectations as of now. But I have maybe probably Makalu or Dholagiri. That's the
Okay.
thing. Let's see. I mean, 2023 whether it's also time.
It all depends on money. I
Money,
can totally understand.
and also the mountain. So what there is a superstition in my side. I have a superstition. If the mountain is inviting me or you, anybody, in fact, in the world, whoever, wherever he is, what kind of trouble he is in, that moment he will go there. If the mountain invites me, I will be there.
If the mountain wants you,
yeah,
you will end up there.
Irrespective of your whatever
Finance
say
problems,
hurdles
life
or
problems, anything.
whatever everything. That's
Correct.
the thing. You also might have understood that part, but this is superstition. This is nothing linked to the blind belief. But this is the target. I want to do it, so we will work for that. Obviously, we have a plan for that, and then we will execute it. So that's the thing. That's the thing for right now. I really anticipate for more climbs. Let's see how the time.
No, you're training really hard. I follow you on Instagram. You have been training really hard, and I think you're lucky in some ways that you have that academy, which I guess is very close to your house.
It's a bit like it's around 18 kilometers from my home, but yeah, 18. It's okay.
Still, I think that is a defense academy.
No, they have they are like fitness enthusiasts. Like they want.
Okay.
So they have a place. So they got this idea, and then they have they built it.
Okay.
So I think
it's a nice place.
It's a nice place. It's a very good. So army or people who want to join armed forces, if they want to clear their
they come and train there.
Physical examination, and people who want to join in police and forest department. So these are their main students, and then they have an open gym in the middle of the ground and the 400 meters track around it with obstacle training.
Yeah, I've seen monkey bars,
and then
all the tires,
parallel bars, and then overhang, and then ropes, all that stuff.
Okay.
So it's a good place. Anyway, coming back to you. So your next projects are still like you're going to be in India only, right?
No, it is definitely in India. That is for sure. But I haven't zeroed in on the mountain yet. But definitely in India because cost effective.
Yeah, exactly.
It's way cheaper. And now I believe, to be very frank and honest, this climb I want to do it with my own money, no matter how difficult it becomes, because I want to give this summit as a gift to all the well-wishers, those who helped me in Manaslu, and then again think about asking for another help for another 8,000. Had it been a little cheap, I would have gone again this year, but again arranging that much amount of money is not possible for us middle class people. But
it's okay.
That's why I want to try something in India, hopefully succeed, and then again in 24 maybe we can plan something.
Yeah, exactly.
In 24.
Yeah, hopefully someday we'll climb together also, and on a big
Sure,
mountain.
I would love to.
And also see, in India, climbing community is very small when compared to the population that we have. Let's see, let's work hard and then hit harder and then climb, give it, and then make an arrangement. Keep the financing, finance coming in an autopilot mode, and then take your ice axe and then hit it. That's what I want to. So
Okay.
yeah, that's the thing. Anything else you want to tell your friends, your family, your well-wishers, your partners, or whoever? The final words.
Partner as in Gokyo is, I think you have heard about Gokyo. Gokyo is an Indian adventure clothing brand. They are from Mumbai. Venkatesh Maheshwari. So he helped me a lot in Manaslu. He supplied me with clothes. They are very good. And I could not sum it. And Venkatesh sir, his name is Venkatesh. Venkatesh sir supports me in that. In that case, he said it's okay. You came back alive. You're safe. That's more important. But I want to thank them that they have supported me in Manaslu, and my idea is to make them proud in the future, and they will definitely not regret supporting me. I can assure you. I'll try all my best, and to whoever is listening this podcast or video, I would just like to say that, change your lifestyle to a better way of living, as in be disciplined, because that is the greatest high that you can get. No alcohol, no cigarette, nothing can give you that high when you decide something. And of course, on the first day you will not be able to run 10K. I also couldn't run 2 kilometers. But then there'll be one day when you will be able to run 10K. The high that you will get, that is totally different. And this disciplined lifestyle, it is a different world. It is not easy, otherwise everybody would have been disciplined. So it takes a lot of effort, and it gives back much more in return. And as they say, health is wealth. And that is why I love mountaineering so much, because it is all about being healthy and fit and in the top shape all throughout the year, not 2 months ago. And that is why we are still training. Although I do not have any climb until mid-July and August, but I will have to keep training, and you are also training. So that is why I love this sport.
It's an addiction.
That's it. And thank you to you. You helped me a lot. I would like to thank you, and I would love to climb with you one day. And Sunny Paji spoke so well of you. He had all the good things to say about you. And I can relate now why. One day maybe we'll climb together.
Yeah.
And even better if Sunny joins us.
Yeah, we'll see. We'll plan something, there is a lot of time in the future.
In India, we can definitely plan.
Yeah.
In India, we can definitely plan.
So
thank you, sir. Thank you for having me.
So thank you.
Anything you would
Yeah, I don't have much to say. I'm still learning, and I really want to train harder. I want to become more stronger than what I am. And thank you for accepting my invitation in such a short notice. And I'm honored. And then conversation with my mountaineering mate, who we never met, but we are close friends.
I believe this is not the last time.
Yeah.
This is just the beginning.
Yeah, this is just the beginning. Thank you for having.
And I wish you all the best for whatever you're preparing this upcoming spring or autumn.
Yeah.
That's it.
Yeah. So all the best for your future endeavors. And then I want to see you on many more 8,000ers. Thank you for being here today. And then it was a lovely discussion. Thank you.
Thank you.